We'll be at 3 o'clock. And I don't know, Becker's going to do something like ninth caller or something. Whatever. Wow. We traded great office equipment. Fantastic office equipment. And we have witness to it as well. Ryan Blais is joining us in the studio. How you doing, Ryan?
Pretty good, buddy. That is a huge photocopier.
Isn't it? Our general manager walks in, he brings Ryan in, and he looks at it and he goes, so what were you doing today, Kev? I didn't steal it.
That thing's a Xerox machine. It is bigger than me.
And there's also a 1-800 number on it that we can get supplies for.
That's good.
So we're good to go. Well, thanks for dropping by the studio. It's an honor to have you here.
Yeah, you betcha. I'm glad to come in and chat with you guys a little bit about my foundation I'm launching.
This is fantastic. We were running news stories on it this morning. Of course, you're known for your freestyle abilities, and of course, you've been competing for our country for a while. We're going to talk about that a little later. But you have a new foundation, and as a guy that's got Kev's Kids going, I am very stoked for you because I feel there's going to be a lot of success for what you're about to tell the people about.
Well, yeah, if you rewind like 4 or 5 years ago, I was a struggling athlete trying to get onto the national team. And there is very little support for athletes before they have a profile, before they're on the national team. And the only way I was able to get through that is because I got a lot of support from within the community. We have a lot of athletes now in the community that are at that same level, but they don't necessarily have the tools or know how to go getting that support. And what's going to happen is they're going to end up quitting before they reach their potential. So I developed the Come Fly With Me Foundation. It's going to be administered through the Community Foundation of Greater Grand Prairie. And basically what we're going to do is throughout the community, we're going to raise funds. Those funds are going to go to support area amateur athletes that are striving to make it onto the national team. And we're going to do some interesting creative things, partnerships with the Sport Development Center, and provide services for these young guys. And by 2010, we want to raise $200,000. And I think it's easy. I think we can do that for sure in this community.
Grand Prairie and the Peace Country, no problem. No problem. And, you know, and you bring up a valid point. Like, I mean, we've talked about this on the show, and it's always a news topic across this country, is our athletes don't get the support that they desperately need. And like you said, especially the lower profile sports. You know, everybody knows hockey. And skiing we know very well, too. But even aerialists, you know, it's a little different genre.
Well, we're a niche sport, but try being in a sport like table tennis. They have a lower profile as well. And try finding a sponsor for your table tennis athlete, and they're an Olympic sport. But it is getting a lot better in Canada for funding for athletes, but it's getting better at the elite level. I'm adequately funded now, but young guys that are striving to make their mark, you know, they're struggling and they don't have the funds available to do so.
And nor do most guys have the skills to go out and do the PR work for it. I mean, if you're an elite athlete, that's what you're focused on. You're not, you know, they might not always be a great salesman, not great at fundraising. That's why it's great to have somebody like you that's got the skills and the connections to get this thing going.
Well, that's one of the things that the foundation wants to do too. Is we want it to be a two-way street where we're providing, basically the community is providing funds to the athletes, but we want to give the athletes the tools to give back to the community. For example, services, public speaking workshops.
Excellent.
You know, and encouraging the kids, maybe giving them $200 to go in and speak to a group of kids about goal setting at a school. So it's going to be a two-way street. Because if we really expect the community to support us, we need to give back to the community as well.
I like that. That is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I think it'll go. And we have some Canadian Tire is excited about it. They just backed our foundation with a pledge of $50,000 over 4 years. So that we haven't even launched the foundation yet, and we're 25% of the way there.
Bravo.
I think we can get closer than that before the end of the weekend.
Trust me, when we started Kev's Kids here at SunFM, we had no idea just how gracious we'd have to be to our wonderful community after the money just came in. So I think you're in the right direction. You'll be doing fine. You have an event tonight as well we should make sure people know about.
Yeah, the Community Foundation of Greater Grand Prairie, they're the entity that's going to manage our foundation, and they're having their annual appreciation donor night. It's called the Vintage Gala Evening. It's at Center 2000. It's going to be a filled night with just a lot of wine and people having a good time, and we're going to be talking about a lot of the different projects that the Community Foundation of Greater Grand Prairie is involved with. They basically inspire philanthropy and give a way for the community to they basically connect the community with great charities and kind of serve the link.
Okay, I'll bring my paper shredder. I'll be there. Okay, don't go away. You got a couple of minutes yet, Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
I want to find out what you're doing with your career. We'll do that next year on the SunFM Morning Show with Ryan Blais. It's 9:24 with the SunFM Morning Show. Ryan Blais has joined us in the studio. The reason he's being gracious enough to come by the show, first of all, is he's put together what he calls the Come Fly With Me Foundation. It's going to help out future athletes in our community, and we wish you all the best on that. But you know what I want to know about, too, is how's your career going? I know you've come back from an injury. You've got a knee injury. That's going well?
Yeah, the knee injury is pretty good. it's never going to be perfect, but for my sport, it's good enough now. I'll be limping when I'm an old guy, but I think that's inevitable anyways. So
yeah, you get a little bit of damage. I've seen you flippity flop and fly through the sky. I mean, that's crazy stuff.
Don't always land on my feet, do I?
No. Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
You've reached the podium.
Oh yeah,
you've reached the podium several times. So what's in the future for Ryan? What are you going to do? Are you going to make it to Whistler?
You betcha. I mean, that's what I'm aiming for. I'm ranked really well in the world right now. I'm 4th in the world, and just kind of plugging along. One of the things we're doing now, up until the next 4-year cycle going into 2010, we have some time to relax and pull back and refocus. So for this next year, I'm going to focus more on training, and I'm going to step back from some of the competitions, maybe only compete 4 of 10 events. My world ranking will fall drastically because of that, but it doesn't really matter. It's not going to affect my funding. It's not going to affect my qualification for any of these events. But what it will do is it'll prepare me for 2010. If anyone's watching on the sidelines, it's like, hey, ranked 25th in the world, that's a big drop-off, but there's a lot of athletes that are going to be doing that.
And then plus it ensures you be more healthy on the day of.
Well, yeah, I'm getting a little bit older. I'm in the last 5-6 years of my career, and I need to avoid injuries. I've had a couple bad ones, and I have to definitely avoid those. And part of that is taking the opportunity to focus on training and finesse the tricks you already have and learn some new ones. And it's tough to do that when you're spending 5 months of the winter traveling from Australia to China to wherever. It's difficult.
So have you noticed the caliber of the athlete? Like you said, you're in the the latter stage of your freestyle career now. These young guys coming up, did they scare you? Did they?
Yeah. Well, because we just had maybe a good 5 or 6 top athletes from around the world retire, and it's like, woohoo! Those don't got to compete against them anymore. But then all of a sudden, China opens the doors, and they have these young guys. Like, where did they get these guys from? And Russia's doing the same thing too.
It's just crazy.
So and now our Canadian program, we're starting to develop our younger athletes. We're bringing them from sports like trampoline. So we'll be the next we'll be the next country to do that. It will probably be right around 2010 when we start introducing these top guys into the sport, and then they'll be vying to also qualify for the 2010 Olympics. Kind of the way I was in 2002 as a rookie, just like no real hope, but if I have my best day, maybe I'll get on the podium and qualify.
Well, the moves are just amazing nowadays in your sport. I don't know, doesn't it freak you out, man?
Yeah, every time, man.
Like it's gotta.
Yeah, every first jump of the day is a doozy, and the first one of the season is always. No one likes to go first.
Okay, that's good, because I thought I've skied up to the ramps a couple of times or boarded up to the ramps just to kind of get that perspective you must have coming off that thing.
Well, you don't see me. You're coming in at about 70K, so it's over quick. That's a good thing.
I'll tell you, man. You're crazy. You're crazy. Well, we wish you all the best. Keep us informed with your career. We'd love to let you know how you're doing.
You betcha. And I always keep in touch with you guys for the season as well. And I'll definitely let you know how the foundation goes. I think we're gonna have a big weekend, and hopefully we're up to $50,000. I think we can get a lot closer.
You're going to do fantastic. But before you take off, though, if people want to help out your foundation, what do they do and how do they do it?
Get in touch with the Community Foundation of Greater Grand Prairie. You can find it through the city website, and Tracy Vavrick's the key person to speak with there, and she'll guide us along.
Fantastic. Ryan Blais, ladies and gentlemen, help him out if you can in his Come Fly With Me Foundation, and we wish him all the best all the way to Whistler in 2010. This is U2, Electrical Storm on the Sun.